I'm Zach Fagenson with Miami Today, and I'm here at the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts for an interview with the new chairman of the Trust Board, Mike Eidson. Mr. Eidson, who's an attorney by trade, started as chair-elect and is now taking over his 3-year term as chairman. During that time, he said he's looking to bolster fundraising, both from individuals, corporations, and private foundations. Another project of his has been to figure out a way to bring dramatic theater to the center, which might not be at the center. The city of Miami is planning a theater at the Coconut Grove Playhouse's site. He said he'd like to see an expanded theater there and respects the city's plans, but if it wants help to build a bigger theater, he and the center support it.
I was the president of the Miami City Ballet for years, and after 3 or 4 years, Edward Villela asked me if I would represent the ballet on the trust. On the trust. At that time it was called Miami-Dade County Trust, I guess, Performing Arts Center Trust, because Carnival wasn't involved yet as a namer, and Adrienne Arsht was not involved. So that's how I got involved in it in the first place, was representing the ballet. Each of the 5 resident companies, at that time when this was started, it was going to be a showcase for the 5 resident companies. That was one of the reasons for it. And Miami-Dade County didn't want to operate a Performing Arts Center. They turned it over to this trust. And it would be combined with people that would represent the resident companies and people who were appointed by the political side. By that time I was representing the ballet. There was somebody for the opera, there was a Florida Philharmonic representative, the Concert Association, and the New World Symphony. Those were the 5 resident companies. Oh, wow. Well, I became very, very active in this when Ricky Arriola became the chair. About 3 months before he became the chair, when the discussion was going that he might fulfill that role, several people asked me if I would consider serving as the chair-elect and then succeeding him. The chair-elect had a lot of duties. We had a lot to do at that particular time because of some things that had happened before he became the chairman. This was 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
So that would be, I don't know what year that is, 2007. So somebody, Stanley Levine actually was the first time that said, Mike, would you serve as chair-elect? And he was representing a group of people. And at that time I was president of the Association of Trial Lawyers of America. Okay, and I was working a lot in Washington, D.C. And I said, as soon as I'm finished, I'll finish right that time, I can start working on this. So I'm a great believer in public service if you can do it, if you think you're pretty good at doing that. And so as soon as I got finished with that, with representing the trial lawyers nationally, I became chair-elect. They decided to elect me. I had met with Ricky, and he laid out his vision, told me what he wanted to do, and said, I want you to be on my team. And I'd already spoken to these other people, so I said, okay. So for 3 years I was the chair-elect. And the way that he ran it, you had a lot of responsibilities as the chair-elect. And then as he got close to the end of his term, those duties for the chair-elect increased. I would say that I would replace him if he was out of town in any formal activity. Support him, discuss issues, discuss the CEO, who was going to be the new CEO, how are we going to handle that. One of the big issues that came up was how to handle the Restaurant Associates situation. We had a contract with Restaurant Associates. It was 10 years. There was some dissatisfaction with them, so Ricky discussed it with me and Parker Thompson, who was the immediate past president. We decided that we needed to replace them, go in a different direction, that we could do that better. And we wanted to have a restaurant here, or restaurants, so that this would be a destination and not just a place where you'd go see an event. Try to keep people here, get people to identify more with the Adrienne Arsht Center as a place to go and really enjoy the place and not just go to see a concert. We've done that. And one of the ways to do that was to replace Restaurant Association with somebody local. And the person we ended up choosing was Barton G. So I'm an attorney, so Ricky is too. But we would get the contracts out, I would read the contracts, and we would discuss how we might go about this and then how we had handled this from a budget standpoint. So it was a collaborative kind of thing. Ricky was clearly the chairman, and I was the vice chair. And there are many, many ways that I would express my opinion and work with Ricky.